I seem to be making a habit of this, starting a video off and then finishing it off the next day, and that's because there's always something else going on and it's not really finished. And I don't even know what I'm doing today, because potentially transit face could be taking a little drive out to Burnley, or maybe it won't be. My friend Aaron's turning up to finish messing with his Seat over there at 10, hopefully. There should be somebody coming round this afternoon with a Citroen for me to have a test drive in, which will be awful. And then there's even a possibility of me test driving a Land Rover and senior mustard coming around as well. So all of these things rolled into what's going to be about 4.5 hours now. Something's not going to work out. That seems to be the very nature of dealing with cars, though, is that you kind of sometimes just got to drop everything to go and do a different job. And that means that it's very difficult to get properly focused on one thing. Unless I can just say, no, I'm doing this today. No, it doesn't matter how important it is that I go off and do this particular thing. I'm doing this. Okay, it's settled. I am off out on my way to Burnley. There's no point in me overtaking a cyclist when I've got to stop at the traffic lights anyway. Oh no, doesn't look like I have now. You know, if I'm in transit phase, I am out either buying a car, or rescuing a car, or what else could I be doing? I could be moving a couch. I could be doing it as a treat. Not really a treat. It's the same case. There's another car to go and collect, and I'm starting to run out of room. That's the trouble. But I can't just see cars go to scrap. And when cars like this one come up, basically just going to go to scrap when there's still a usable car, it just really bothers me, and I can't do it. I have to try and do something about it, even if it means a big inconvenience. That's the moment. These lovely old Rovers, like the one I'm about to collect, are very, very much in danger of just being chucked away all over the place because of the simple fact that scrap prices are high. For many people, it's just a car, and it's just money, and they want money but they don't want the car. So to collect something at the scrap price with any kind of deal is always, really good. It's difficult to do. The Rover world is known for tight-fisted skinflints. It's true. But it's also, to me, known for generosity, and I do seem to get offered an awful lot of cars at a very reasonable price, just so I can do something with them. And today's one of those instances. It genuinely saddens me to see these cars get chucked away when they're still usable cars. Obviously when they're rotten or completely beyond repair it's a different matter, but often they're not. Often they've still got plenty of life in them, and Britain's losing its identity with cars because everyone drives German cars these days. The Germans have taken over. Yeah, the German car industry's really got the British people by the throat, so to speak. And I don't know why. I don't know why, because they don't produce cars that are quite as good as they're supposed to be. They make some very fast cars. Fast until they break down. They make some very good handling cars. Good handling until all the ball joints and bushes wear out. They make some good looking... No, I'll leave that bit. These old Rovers are rapidly disappearing. And they've been given an almighty shove by high scrap prices. Give it a year and you really won't see them about any longer. And most people will say you don't see them about anyway, but you do. You see one every other day somewhere. But they'll become, so you see one once a year. Unless you're me, then you see them every day. Bacup. There's a town called Bacup in Lancashire that a few years ago had this yard that was full of TR7s, Triumph TR7s. And there must have been about 30 of them all in this yard, all just parked up together. And the TR7 was at the time obviously an exceedingly rare car, and suddenly they all disappeared. And I do end up wondering whether that's where I'm headed, because I don't know who this chap was that had all these cars, what the circumstances were, or why they disappeared. But I imagine he was an eccentric bearded fellow that just kept hanging on to these things. And then one day, either he died or he got evicted, and that was the end of the dream. So, even by actively doing some work like this, it's completely pointless unless you've got other people doing it with you. Todmorden. I think I belong in Todmorden. It's a much nicer place to be than Rochdale. It looks like a happy town. I must admit I've gone quite philosophical today, thinking about the future of all sorts of things, because I'd hazard to guess that all of the people that I know would probably think maybe you should just mess about with other cars, because these ones don't really pay off too well. And it's true. It is true. I'm going to collect this car today, obviously using my time, my old battered, slightly vandalised looking truck, diesel, etc., to collect a car that I don't really see any profit in, or certainly not much. Nowhere near as much as I could do if I was just buying cheap Clios and Vauxhall Corsas just to sell on. And I know many car makers and they all do okay, but they're not attached to a particular car. I mean, cars aren't people, are they? I know I've filmed this bridge before whilst going to Burnley, but I just really like it. Well, it's a viaduct. Oh, and last time I filmed that bridge I did mention that it was a viaduct and not a bridge, and I was going to the same place and I was collecting a Rover. In fact, I think it may well have been Max. How could I possibly know all of my videos that well? And the answer is I don't. How can I possibly make so many videos and not repeat myself? The answer to that is I don't know if I can. But do I? Any of you people, lovely people that watch all of my videos, have you ever found yourself thinking, oh, not this story again, or not this again? You're always saying that, you're always going on about that. I'm just about to switch this video off, you know. Do you let that be a lesson to you? Does that ever happen? That's the most unusual situation. Being held up by a quad bike. Normally these quad bikers drive like lunatics. There's a question. Do you ride or drive a quad bike? Well, this one's doing neither. Never have I seen such a thing. Am I actually going to overtake a quad bike? It transit face. Yes, I am. Ooh, that could have been seen as naughty, but I am 6.5 foot up by eye level, and I can see way ahead. If you're in a car, you can't see that. That's why transits are faster than cars normally. Well, back to that question. It's caught me up now. You might be thinking, hey, yeah, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? You did all that effort you went through and you're still on the same place. It probably doesn't talk like that. But the question still remains, do you ride or drive a quad bike? Oh, a deregistered Volvo 340. This didn't look like an old person driving it either. It just makes me rather joyful to see cars of that age being used. That's an old car, that's 86 or 87. Good indeed. I once had one of those, a 340 with a 1.4 Renault engine in. It was crap. I mean, really, really bad. It was okay until the engine just went unbelievably noisy and then seized up. That happened twice. Yeah. I had another one, probably the same year, another 340, same colour, same 1.4 engine, and suddenly it started going, yeah, that death rattle. It was a rubbish engine, that was. That's Pendle Hill over there. Look. As you can see, there's a car in the back, and you know it's a Rover. Can you tell the colour? Maybe you can, I don't know. What I was saying earlier on about these cars being off the road, what surprising the result today. Obviously, I've gone to pick this one up. There's a couple of Rovers knocking around in Burnley. There's a 75 Touring I saw. I've just gone past a Maestro and an MGF and an MGTF and a Reliant Robin. So there's quite a few old cars. Lots of lovely little sheep in there. Sheeps and lammies, all fluffy and cuddly and woolly. Taking my chances with the fuel again. I'm always doing that. I just don't like stopping for fuel. And there's 3 reasons for this. The first one is that it's just inconvenient. I can't bother stopping for fuel. The second one is I don't like paying for it. The third one is the second one again. But the return journey's quite a lot of downhill stuff, and that saves fuel. It saves the fuel that you would have saved if you hadn't have spent so long going uphill to start with. Definitely shows the right day to spend a couple of hours driving transit face around in the sweltering heat of, oh goodness, oh what now? As I was saying, it's definitely not the day to spend a couple of hours sweltering under the big windscreen of transit face. It's already about 25 degrees outside and this is very, very uncomfortable. I can't wait to get back to work and go into my nice, cool, air-conditioned lock-up. Senior mustard. Well, this car's only just got here. It hasn't even got itself a name, and it might already be on its way back out again already because someone's coming to have a look at it. It's a lovely car. What a colour! Kingfisher blue. And inside we have the paisley interior and paisley door card. You know what? Guess what? Yeah, I'd swap this for one of mine. I'd swap Alfie for this. What I would do if it was in better condition. The yard is absolutely rammed here today. What an unexpected situation. I brought this car down here because it was going to be a pain for Turb to sell. I brought it down so I could sell it, do a review on it, all this kind of thing, and then someone turns up and buys it straight away before I've even had a look at it properly. I'm kind of disappointed.
Oh my God.
Is this car lowered or has it got no suspension whatsoever? It's a skip. How do you drive a skip? No 2 days are ever going to be the same at Project Nigel. Obviously. I mean, even more so here. So on Monday, that rather special Citroen C1's coming down here. So I'm going to do a review. And I will not be holding back on my opinion. It's dreadful. It's amazingly bad. And I'm looking forward to it because of that. There's Nigel over there. Yep, come out in lovely Nigel.